So why this topic? Today's topic on WeeklyWed Trends is forward deployed engineer. It's a technical topic because it's for an engineer's role changing with Gen AI. The focus has shifted from models to vibe coding. So you and I covered this in WeeklyWed Trends last time on what is vibe coding. Is it the same as no code AI? Short answer, it's not. So it's the same thing. We are kind of continuing on. Demystifying buzz is one thing I do. I just like popping that.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell us, what is this topic? Why are you interested in it? What do you want me to talk about?
Okay. When I first came across someone talking about it, I actually felt it was a new role that was created out of the urgency or the need for AI managers. And I thought maybe, okay, probably came this year. But when I was making a little bit of research, I found out that it had been in existence since 2005. I think people are kind of catching up on it right now. And that's because it's kind of bridges between customers and manufacturers or business executives, because one of the things that is causing a lot of buzz is AI, and people are having issues deploying their AI in different companies. So what FDE or forward deployed engineers do is basically they bridge that gap. They build customized solutions using AI for each brand or for each company. So that kind of reduces the long hurdle of trying to get maybe a solutions architect. But people are not being concerned, okay, this new role, does it replace the traditional engineers? Does it replace a typical software engineer? So that kind of made me curious to want to know more about it.
I believe it exists in consulting companies. So do you want to know why it is a buzz now? What is your question for me?
Yes, that was my first question, because I know for a certain that many roles, many companies actually are tilting towards an FDE, like forward deployed engineer. Many people are asking in the communities that I belong and forums that, okay, why now? Does it replace traditional engineers, software engineers? Does it replace them? Or it's more of a new role entirely? And also, what are the necessary technical skills required to be a forward deployed engineer based on your own experience and exposure?
Okay, so I want to focus on this as a trend. What does it mean for you? Whatever job role you play. That's kind of how I'm going to approach it. Like you said, the word forward deployed engineer as a job role has existed for some years, mainly in consulting companies. Traditionally, though you might think it's all technology, industry-wise, there's a set of companies who are technology companies who are building fundamental technology. So they are actually innovating and saying, and they're even cannibalizing themselves. They don't want to be cannibalized by their competition. So they're kind of innovating ahead. And that's the role of the software engineer traditionally for like at least a couple decades. And they come up with new things and they say, okay, who could use this? What could we do with this? And then there are technologists who love technology in enterprise, in various industries, in functional roles like HR or legal or accounting, or it could be full silos of industries like manufacturing, mining, finance, healthcare. Healthcare is a top industry now that is deploying AI. And there have been a lot of hype on industries that has nothing to do with AI, with claims on, hey, AI can go generate movies for us. I don't know a single person who wants to stop seeing real movies and go watch what is called as AI slop. But we have reached a place where instead of engineers building fundamental technology available as platforms and API, and enterprise companies, innovators, and most of our learners are also in that innovator space, right? They are doing a job, they bring functional knowledge, saying, okay, now how can I make this technology work? So they're the customers, so they run pilots, they fund the technology companies, they buy these technologies, they make build versus buy decisions. And then the consulting companies are in the middle, or system integrators, or independent software vendors, they're called, are in the middle, and they are basically always playing with these new technologies and saying, hey, how do we solve this problem? So they're embedded in the domain knowledge companies, which are enterprise companies. So that's the historic scene. The thing changed with AI, where the engineers can't build something out of the blue because AI is built by training with data. So they start software engineering role changed to building AI models by using data. So they get some training data and they build the AI, and then they go back to the enterprise customers and say, is this something that you can use for healthcare? Is this something you can use for financial trading and for various industries, right? And the companies bring their knowledge and they say, let me put my data and check whether this works for me. This is not good. So in machine learning, when we were learning machine learning a few years back, there's this concept of feature engineering where this data owners, system analysts, or product owners on the enterprise side will use their knowledge to do feature engineering of the data and model the AI. It will be trained by the engineers in technology industry, iterated, tested by the product managers and several teams. And then when it is ready, it will be available as an API. It will be now piloted by enterprise, putting their data, doing the modeling, which will be the next round training. And then they build products on top of it. So that has been the second wave once AI came. Third wave is when Gen AI came in and technology companies said, let us take the world of data, whether we own it or not. I'm not even talking about that angle, but they took data from the internet. They took all possible data that is available out there and said huge volume of data, and we're building foundation model. And so then they made that available and they said, now we have a model. It's available as an API. It is going to cost you to use the model. It's going to cost you to run the model. It's going to cost you compute time to build it. It is going to cost you token cost when your customers use it. You talk with every chatbot which is out there. It's going to burn some forest, but it's also going to cost the company. So we kind of got ourselves into this place, and the company said, no, we are going to make better models. So they got a disconnect from the actual customers because they were not understanding the workflow of customers and refining to the customers. They were putting all their energy to build better and better models. For a short while, the direction was towards building AGI and then reasoning models. So I have taught this in my Gen AI using no-code course here on LinkedIn. And there was a disconnect of our deployed engineers in consulting companies. We're still doing their job of making that connection between here's the technology, now how do you deploy this in a forward direction towards solving a real problem. That's where the forward deployed engineer term came from. So the term today, forward deployed engineer, that's getting buzz, is basically an engineer from technology company who is going to be embedded inside an enterprise AI company. That's the definition of a forward deployed engineer. And for the purpose of our learners, I always, whenever I talk about a technology, even when I talk about the ethics of it, nothing is done by one person or one team or one role.
That's true.
So it goes through a whole set of people coming together, bringing their expertise. So that's what I always tell our learners, that you could be a designer, you could be a data owner, you could be an analyst, you could be bringing business acumen on manufacturing processes, right? I have students who are like so intimately aware of the nitty-gritties of their business, of what moves the needle, what is right and what is wrong from various different business units, or what works for one region might not work for another region. They're very aware of the customers and behavior of that particular region. And all that knowledge is what becomes data to feed the AI to do the modeling when it was machine learning. And the same data should be used, their same knowledge should be used to build the right application. So that is where there was the disconnect. The business acumen of my learners was not tapped, and they were asked to say, oh, go try this model versus that model, which is better. So I have lessons in the Gen AI course on should you go with an open source model or a closed model, and I tell them, don't worry about it. Think about what is good for your business.